In this video, we are going to take a final look at the 1990 gameplay tape that my cousin Manny made for me back when I was 4 years old. I was enamored with the Nintendo Entertainment System. My family got me so many video games for the console, and one of them was DuckTales.
What is it? Shh! What is it?
What is it, Tom? DuckTales game! From Mommy and Daddy?
My cousin Manny was right there by my side as I opened it. Well, he again, 34 years later, was right there by my side when he and I got together to take a look at a tape he recorded for me of him beating the game.
Manny will win these off you by tomorrow.
Yeah, I could win that today.
Well, let's not waste any more time. Let's just jump right into it. Here is Manny and I taking a look at DuckTales on NES.
Wow, kid.
All right, well, here we are. Got Manny, cousin Manny here with us today. And we are taking a look at the old recording he made back in 1990 of him beating DuckTales. From beginning to end, Manny would send these tapes to me. And here we're hearing the amazing DuckTales chiptune theme song. What are your first memories with DuckTales, Manny?
Yeah, I always enjoyed it. It was kind of easy, so it was a nice, relaxing playthrough. You know, much easier than some of the other games we played.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was always a good time, and it was simple, easy controls. You know, of course, watch the show after school every day or whatever. Whatever it was.
There's those like crazy VHS things that happen.
yeah. The VHS effects, the authentic.
Yeah.
What was it? Tracking or something?
Yeah, tracking problem, and it would just warp the tape, and it was such a telltale that you're viewing old analog media.
Yeah, the first thing I noticed when we hit play is the distortion in the sound. You could hear it.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like warping and bending.
Yeah. Well, all right. So these tapes, right? They were recycled, you know, and we would do EP. Which one was the 6-hour mode? It was one of those
I think it was LP.
LP.
Right?
Okay.
SP.
Play,
SP was
play.
the fastest one. Yeah.
Yeah. So we would do the longest stretched duration, I guess it was. So, you know, the quality would be horrible, and it would distort the sound and the video, but then we would re-record over it.
Yeah.
many times back and forth, and yeah, just in general, it made the quality really poor. But you know what it's like? It's like I would, you know, when they do modern releases of older games like this, and they put filters in.
Yeah.
They always do just like the CRT filter, but I would really like this VHS, maybe RF looking filter. That would
like some
cool.
sort of authentic, because I think because we used to make these tapes so much, there's something very appealing to the VHS recording look on these old gameplay, on video game gameplay. It just looks really authentic.
Yeah. Hey, wow. I guess I really.
You took the shortcuts.
Yeah, I sped through this. I didn't bother doing any of the other paths where I think you get extra lives and stuff like that.
You're fighting Magica Dispel, and she's dead now.
Yeah.
That's quick and easy. Oh, look, you're playing around. You're going off.
Well,
oh, look, you're dancing.
So much for the speed run, I guess.
Taking your sweet time. But see, we used to do those kind of things, you know, just like for our own amusement, just like dance around and, you know, show off. Almost like a quarterback when he spikes the football in the end zone. He's like
showboating and all that.
Exactly. Yeah, it's so funny. It's interesting that. So you went after Transylvania first. I always, when I played this game, went after the Amazon first.
You know, modern. I play it in. I guess I played the NES version recently, but more so the remastered. And I always just go in order. Like you're talking about Amazon, I think is the first one.
Yeah.
Then Transylvania, then the mines, and then, or maybe it's the
Yeah.
Himalayas
So
first,
let's
before
talk
the
about
mines.
this for a second. This used to trip me up when I was a kid and I couldn't read and I'd play this game. I would go to African mines and it would send you back to Transylvania. And that used to really trip me up because I didn't know what was going on. I wasn't reading that it said you need to get the key back in Transylvania. And the game never did that. Like I don't remember games that you would start a level, but then the game would like say, you're going back to this level. Like that was just
No,
weird.
nothing. Let me think. Yeah, I guess not. I guess not. And you can't get the key ahead of time either, so it's not like I could have done Transylvania first, gotten the key, and then finished it, and then come here. It would still
Yeah.
send you back. Which,
And you know what's interesting is that Quackshot Donald Duck on the Sega Genesis. I don't know if you remember that one, but it actually did stuff like that. You would go to a level and then it would say, wait, you got to go back and get this item in this other level, backtrack, and it was almost taking a cue from the DuckTales Capcom game. Even though, and it's funny because the DuckTales world is kind of in that game. It's sort of like a DuckTales game. So that's interesting. I've never thought about that. That Quackshot kind of bears some resemblance to the DuckTales NES game.
well, sure, but I know there were games. I can't come up with the name, but there are plenty that would send you back um, to get
Yeah.
a key item or something like that.
Do you remember Strider on the NES? Did you ever
No.
play that version of it? Okay, that did that also. That was another Capcom game.
Yeah, the only Strider I played was the more modern release, I guess.
Oh, okay.
20, maybe like 12 or something.
So you take Launchpad back. So I never understood. I never liked doing that when I was a kid because to me it was like, wait, I don't want to impede my progress on this level. But I get now why people do it is because you want to save the money you've collected.
Oh, all right. I
why-
didn't realize that.
That's why it's done. Yeah, and there's the best ending you can get in DuckTales happens if you get like a certain amount of gold.
Yeah.
A certain amount of money is collected, and so that's the whole strategy of why you would even use Launchpad is to put the money back in your bank.
Well,
but
did
I
you
don't-
know there's actually a bad ending?
Yes.
You can end with $0.
Yeah, that in itself has got to be really hard to do because you'd have to not collect anything.
Well, I actually had to do it because I was chasing the retro achievements for it on the emulator,
Okay.
and that was one of them to end with 0. And at the end of the game, I think it's something like you turn over the treasures to Flintheart Glomgold. And I think each one is worth, let's say, $100,000 each, something like that, or maybe $1 million each.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, you have to set it up so that you don't pick up. You have to pick up enough money that you can't like get time bonuses. If you get too much money, you'd have to like use a continue, which would drop it. But there's a certain denomination that's divisible evenly by the treasures you hand over at the end.
Okay.
So that you end with $0 and they give you a special ending. It's like the newspaper says, like, McDuck goes bankrupt.
Duck goes bankrupt. Yeah, that's hilarious.
he has like the I've gotten hit sprite animation that happens.
Yeah, and I didn't find that out till years and years later with the internet, and it's crazy to me that I don't remember a lot of 8-bit NES games back then that had that sort of like alternate endings. I feel like there wasn't many.
Simon's Quest had that, right?
Oh,
Depending
did
on
it?
how fast. Well, Metroid kind of had it.
Yeah, Metroid with you could get the Samus in the different costumes or without her suit.
Right.
Yeah, that was when everybody figured out she was a girl.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not easy to do. I
So-
think you have to beat it in under 2 hours, maybe.
I just want to point out this boss and this whole stage is inspired by an episode of the show that I
Yeah.
had on VHS tape, and I watched this episode probably more than any other DuckTales episode. It was an episode that involved everything you see here. Scrooge McDuck's money gets stolen, or like an earthquake happens at the money bin, and all of his money goes underground. And so he takes these like you're showboating again. That's funny.
Don't
Um,
they? Yeah, doesn't it? I think I know what episode you were talking about, and what I think what bothered me about it was, now I can't remember. Hopefully, I'm not remembering the remastered game where they expanded the story from this, but
Oh yeah.
it was something like their garbage was like these precious jewels, and they make a deal where he's like, "All right, I'll excavate all that for you.
Yeah,
I'll do you
yeah.
this
At the
huge
end,
favor."
the jewel that he wants that's so coveted. They're like, oh yeah, sure. We don't care about this. Actually, you know what? I think that's not that episode. That's the Amazon.
Bless me, bagpipes, the scepter of the Incan king!
It is yours. Take it and go in peace. After all, it was just the old king's back scratcher.
Oh,
I used
missed
to
it.
the falling down right there used to trip me up when I was a kid. Like how much you would fall down. Yeah, these stages are all loosely based on episodes of the show. Like when you find the Bubba Duck character in this one, I don't know if you end up freeing him from the ice, but he's a character in the show, and I think he's introduced in this ice, like an ice episode in the Arctic. Yeah,
How
I think
did
you're
why do I have 7 lives? What I missed?
Yeah,
Did I,
so
did I
that-
put on
that
easy or
character-
something?
maybe you got some one-ups. I don't know.
Huh.
But yeah, that character's name is Bubba Duck on the show. I remember that, and he that's his only appearance in this. But yeah, this game was really faithful to the show in a lot of ways. But it's interesting. We should talk about the fact that we were getting some of the best licensed video games ever on the NES, and DuckTales. It's so crazy how licensed video games get such a bad reputation for being terrible games, and rightfully so. But DuckTales and these other Capcom Disney games and the Konami Ninja Turtles games, like they made us really believe that licensed games were great and they could be really great.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I used to, in spite of it being considered a bad game, I used to like Back to the Future 2 and 3.
Oh yeah, 2 and 3.
We
That's
never
crazy. So what did you like about them?
just because I liked Back to the Future, really, but
Yeah.
there was a certain element to it that was fun, like trying to discover and find the treasures. It was a game that surely we kept on overnight for multiple days.
You're mentioning leaving it on. You said we would leave it on. I think some people might not even understand. Younger people watching might not even understand what that means. But back in the day, when you didn't have a password system in a game or a save system, especially, you would have to leave your Nintendo on or your Sega Genesis on overnight, sometimes several days, just to see the end of the game because you didn't want to hit reset or power off. You'd lose all your progress. And so that was a common practice. Oh, wow. That's a tricky spot right there.
It actually does, yeah. A lot of these issues I'm having here are still ones I have today. These spiders, I hate them.
Oh, yeah. They're kind of like
very-
the cloud of the game, like the cloud face from Mario. There's always that one really annoying enemy in a game. Medusa heads in Castlevania.
Medusa heads are easy. You know what trips me up in Castlevania? The little, the flea men, the little hunchback guys that...
Oh, yeah. Castlevania 3, I think.
1, 2, 3. I think all.
Oh,
of them.
they're in
But,
the other ones too. Yeah.
yeah, but the thing is that if you just slip on the timing a little bit, they just change the pattern up as they get closer, and so then you can get like in this the cyclical mode where they're jumping over you one way and then the other, and you can't quite land the attack on them. Oh wow.
Yeah, you're cruising through this game.
Dude, you see how small the Yeti is in the remaster? He's like full screen.
Oh, they made him huge in the remaster. The remaster's great. I love the remastered version. That's one of the best remakes of a game I think I've ever played.
I'm gonna smack my younger self. There's some bad playing right here.
Oh yeah, you're kind of getting a little sloppy here. Are you really the king of games, Manny?
Well, here's the thing. A lot of people are like, "Oh, do you play better now or when you were a kid?" And what's your answer to that? What do you think?
I think
how do you play
better
now?
I think you play better now.
No, I know I play better now. Like,
yeah,
for
you
sure.
do. Yeah.
But what do you think about yourself? Do you think you do it better?
You're showboating again. It's so funny. I remember watching this as a kid, watching you play the game on the tape, and you inspired me when I would play the game to do these kind of things. It's so funny. I learned through your gameplay tips like that I could just mess around on the screen and waste time. But no, in answer to your question, I think I'm better at games, certain games. Yeah, I think in general I'm better at the old games. There's certain games where I know I've had trouble where I definitely, maybe like Mega Man games, like I feel like I was a little more attuned to them when I was younger, but then other games that I had trouble with, I do better with now. Yeah. This stage, this music, people who love retro gaming and the retro gaming community, they go nuts over this song and this stage. You know, what are your thoughts on it? Have you been kind of indifferent to it, or did you always think it was a cool song?
I think I liked it. There's some songs in Bucky O'Hare as well. Mega Man game, yeah. So like each game had maybe one, solo hit, right? And yeah, we definitely picked this one out as the popular one. That aligned pretty well.
Yeah, and just something about it. It's funny. A lot of people, I think, use it in kind of a nostalgic way. There's something about it. It creates these nostalgic feelings.
Yeah, it's kind of like a grand theme. It's kind of like compared to the rest of them, this one has probably the most. Gives you a sense of like most potential, like wonderment, adventure.
Yeah.
Almost like an adventure coming to a close. You're like watching end credits type thing.
Yeah.
Sort
I
of
think
relief and a reflection over the journey, that sort of thing.
I think you nailed it. I think that's exactly the feelings you get from it. And also I think the fact that it's like outer space, it's like this sense of wonder, this sense of like, take on the world. Yeah, yeah, everything you said, I agree. Great track, classic. Do you remember, well, you probably remember because you've seen the videos and the episodes I've put together, but you famously, I would say famously at this point, said when I got this game when I was 4 at my birthday party at y'all's house, you said, I think my dad goes, Manny can win all these for you. And you go, yeah, I can beat that one today.
Dude, yeah, I know. I kind of cringe at it.
I remember you once told me, or you wrote a comment or something. You said, "Oh, that cocky kid."
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I guess how old was I there? 11, maybe 10.
You were 9, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But it's funny because that cockiness about video games, like that actually made me like think more and more of you created your own mystique. Let's put it that way. It was like, wait, this doesn't even phase Manny. Like he's gonna just obliterate this game. Like what planet is he on? Like what is he from? This is crazy. And you always made it a well. I spoke too soon.
Yeah. Definitely fallible.
Yes, fallible.
But you know what though? I don't know. I don't think I was like that with friends, honestly. So it's probably just
Okay.
for your benefit.
Okay.
I don't know, because I think your dad kind of like built me up too, so I let that go to my head. But yeah, I guess. I mean, I like to figure out the patterns and really understand how to make the game tick. Although I'd argue that I'm doing a poor job of it here.
I think maybe, maybe you just, you have a lot of lives. You feel pretty confident. So you're just playing a little sloppy. Yeah.
Well, let me say this. So, the video that we reviewed from the old tape of Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
That one impresses me. I tried playing that recently, and I can't do it.
It's a hard game. It's a really hard game.
I get to the 4th stage, and I just can't do it. And this, like, oh, dude, come on, it's not that hard. What are you doing?
This rat boss is about to beat you. Oh, no, you got him. You got him.
Shameful. Oh, man. Yeah. Now
I don't remember the giant rat in the cartoon. Maybe he was, I don't know. The idea that the rat is guarding the cheese.
Did they ever go to space in the cartoon other than in the intro where...
No, there's an episode. There is an episode. I don't remember seeing it exactly, but I know I've like skipped through like on Disney Plus and stuff like that, and I've seen the space episode listed. Yeah. And then you saved the first level for last.
Did I ever you're talking about the moon theme song. Did you ever, I think I sent you the video, but or a link to it. In the new DuckTales series, there's actually an episode. It's kind of dark. I don't know who the characters are in that one, but
yes, I've seen the new DuckTales, and I thought it was pretty good actually. Hallie and I used to watch it a few years back, and I remember being really impressed with it and how they would sometimes cross over other Disney afternoon cartoons into it. Like Darkwing Duck appears in it at one point.
Nice.
Yeah,
but
and like
what I'm getting at though, there's an episode where the girl duck, I don't know her name, but she like crash lands on the moon, and I think something like she loses her arm or leg or something like that.
Oh wow! I didn't see that.
She starts singing, or maybe it's like the mother of Huey, Dewey, and Louie or something. I don't know. But anyway, she starts singing while looking at a picture of them, the moon song, but with lyrics.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's an Easter egg right there. I just gotta say, the sights and sounds of this stage, the Amazon, is such a childhood thing for me. Like when I hear like these 8-bit bees buzzing around and that music and these sound effects, like so many times I went and just started the game and played this stage, and I probably like a lot of people played this stage more than the others, and This is very nostalgic, this game, but especially this stage. Oh, this is always the really hard part here. I can't tell you how many times I tried jumping up to catch Launchpad's rope there, and then just falling to my death.
I actually have trouble on this part.
Oh.
Like right there. That happens a lot to me. Like I think it has something to do with the slowdown. I don't know, but it kind of throws off the walk
Oh wow,
cycle.
you didn't hit the checkpoint or something. That's interesting. You went all the way back.
Yeah.
I thought there was a checkpoint there. Maybe it's right after there. I always thought that was the snake from Jungle Book. Ka.
Oh, yeah.
Looks just like him.
Did you ever play DuckTales 2?
Yes, DuckTales 2. I actually got DuckTales 2. So there was a whole period there after our Nintendo was stolen, where we got the Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo, but then we wanted to go back to having 8-bit again, so we got the what's it called? The top loader NES in like 94, and we got it on discount. It was, and when we did, we made a concerted effort to buy up all the latest games, and they were all pretty cheap at that point. And we bought Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers 2. We bought DuckTales 2, and a number of other games. And those ended up being so rare. But we
no
got you again. Oh man, it's a hard. Part.
I was wondering how this video is the duration it is, like roughly 35 minutes. When this is the last stage that we have to do before the final boss, right?
Yeah.
Jeez. Well, I guess I'm going to be dying a lot here.
Yeah, I guess so. That's funny. And it's what's interesting is of this recording, I don't really remember a whole lot of this recording, even though I watched this tape like crazy. This was the second game on the tape that you sent me. The first one being Turtles, and then the last one being Shadowgate. We've already done those two. But I'm having a hard time remembering your playthrough here on this one. You know what I love is how on these bright stages like this, you can really see that VHS RF kind of look, banding like in the different colors and stuff in that blue background. Yeah.
Man.
And I've never thought about this before, but this makes complete sense to me. The reason why that tape you sent with DuckTales, Shadowgate, and Ninja Turtles, you sent me this tape and made this tape after that 1990 trip, because those games were played quite a bit on that trip. I got DuckTales. We got that on videotape. Me getting it. I got Ninja Turtles there, and I was playing it there on that trip. And then Mikey was always playing Shadowgate on that trip, and I was constantly seeing it. So it was probably one of those things where we got on the phone with each other, and you wanted to. I'm guessing you wanted to do this, and maybe said to me, "What games do you want me to put on the tape, and what games do you want me to do?" And I probably said these three, or maybe you just sent the tape, and you picked these games thinking, because they were so fresh on our minds from that trip, maybe these are the games I would want to see.
Well, you know what games we did? Wow! Oh my God!
Again, man, you're on your last life.
Now I'm embarrassed.
9-year-old Manny from 1990 is embarrassing 2024 Manny. Who would have thought, huh? In front of a big audience, too.
Jeez.
Would you have ever thought? You probably never would have thought such a thing back then. Nobody did.
Nah.
Nobody conceived that what you were recording right here in this moment was going to one day be seen by thousands of people.
No internet, right? I wouldn't have even considered.
No internet, yeah.
Consider that.
Crazy.
I'm getting the frustration I used to feel when I would watch those Nickelodeon game shows where they would they would superimpose the person, I guess.
Oh yeah, like Nick
They
Arcade.
have the green screen. Yeah,
Yep.
and they would be like running through what looked like an arcade level,
Yep.
and you could they just like
You
wouldn't know
did
what they
it
were
on
doing.
your
and
last
they would-
life. You did it. Sorry, I just had to
Good.
point that out. But yeah, Nick Arcade.
Yeah,
I-
you know what I'm talking about, right?
I know
Those
exactly what you're talking
arcade
about.
type games they would run through. Yeah.
I used to think that was a giant tomato.
Oh, I didn't take the shortcut.
No, you didn't. You're gonna
There's
pay
a
the
shortcut
toll.
there. Yeah.
Are you gonna pay the toll, or are you,
You can-
gonna do the trick where you jump on the guy's head?
Yeah, you
Let's
can
see
avoid
what-
the toll. I don't know.
See what you do. But yeah, that boulder. I used to think it was a tomato and not a boulder.
No, I don't pay.
You paid it. You paid it.
Oh man.
I wonder if you knew the trick back then.
What's wrong with this kid?
I was like, why aren't you
Pogo.
pogoing on it? So this part's always really difficult too.
Oh
I
yeah, you got to
often
do
die.
short jumps and stuff.
Yeah, I often would die on this part. But let's see how you do here. Oh,
No,
no, not too bad. Yep. Took the one hit.
yeah, I guess so. One hit wonder. Yeah, I should redo this because. Come on!
This is the easiest part.
Oh jeez, I should totally redo this. I could probably get away with it, no damage today. The patterns are so
I bet
easy.
you could. You could do a no damage run on this. Yep. Oh, here we go. Showboating.
Oh boy.
Not too much. You're like,
Actually, you know what boss is hard in this is Dracula Duck.
at the end, yeah. Haha. It's, was that supposed to be Glomgold? Is that his name? Glomgold?
Flintheart Glomgold.
Glomgold. I think that's, yeah, Flintheart Glomgold. Glomgold. I remember Scrooge McDuck always being mad at him. When you put together the quality of DuckTales the show and how Disney was in this Renaissance era, and then combine that with the classic NES games, I mean, that's why we all have such great impressions of DuckTales and Chip and Dale and all that, because just everything about it was great.
Yeah, see that bat? How it
Oh
flies
yeah,
up?
yeah. That'd be a funny
Yeah.
like mashup. Have like Simon Belmont fight this duck, or Scrooge enters and he has to fight Dracula from Castlevania.
That would be pretty cool, yeah.
That would be really funny.
I-
The
I
Castlevania
like the
music.
crossover idea.
Yeah. All right.
There
The
he is.
famous scene that used to cause anxiety in me. So I'd get to the end here as a kid, and I would get so anxious that if I didn't beat him to the top, that like I would lose the whole game. It was my theory, and to the point where I never let him get to the top. I don't even know what happens.
Ah, look at all that money.
Look at all that money. He sure is happy.
Yeah, he lives for gold. Never spends a penny, but needs all of it.
Hey, with all that money, maybe it can pay for the sequel. With how much it is these days.
Total money, 7 million.
Oh man, the simple times. Wow. It's so cool looking back at this game with Manny. And we had such a blast watching this gameplay tape of Manny playing through the game when he was 9 years old. It was so crazy just picturing young Manny, 9 years old, playing this game, recording it on his VHS player, going directly out of the Nintendo and into the VCR and onto a videotape that he would send to me. That's how we did it back then, guys. We did not have the internet. We did not have ways to just look up gameplay footage. There was no Twitch streaming, nothing like that. We had to just record the tape and play the game ourselves. And if you want to look at the other videos that Manny and I made looking back at this tape and watching his playthroughs, definitely check out the playlist on the main channel or in the description below.